Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to break down what I look for when I'm targeting crappies ice fishing. Been wanting to do a video like this for some time, just kind of giving you the process I go through to get on these fish and find them, and what lakes I specifically look for and things like that. So let's just get into it right away. All right, I guess we can just start with mid-late winter. That's the time frame we're in right now. There's just a ton of information that I just realized I'm not going to be able to fit it all into one video, so just bear with me. Some of this may be monotonous. I will try to put some fish catches in here along the way, try to break it up, but I just wanted to give you guys a look into how we go about targeting these fish on completely new bodies of water that we've never fished before. And I also want to add, we are in the scouting phase of fishing these lakes, so I'm really not, there's only a handful of lakes that I've fished more than once, and that was because of the fish that I found in the lake, which are, you know, big crappie, big bluegill, the types of fish that I'm looking for, and that has led me to fish them more than once. Otherwise, it's been just typically fishing a lake one time, find what we like, then we just continue to fish that lake, you know, make a note of it. But if it's one that only produces small fish or eater-size fish, then, you know, we're on to the next one and checking those lakes. So I'm going to try to put some shots in here, screen recordings of the different tools that I use. As you can see, I have my laptop set up right here. So the tool that I primarily use the most is, I'll show you on my phone because it's no longer available on the online app. I think it's only available as like a web app. I use the Navionics app. You can see that. It's a paid subscription. Gives you really detailed breakdown of the lakes. I'll put a little, matter of fact, I'll just do a screen recording of it for you right here. Real simple, and I'll put it in my video here. It's counting down. But yeah, so here's like Turtle Flambeau, huge body of water, gives you depths. I got some pins dropped. Obviously, that's where I caught fish. So if, you know, you're trying to do this like most people, you know, this is trying to do this on a budget or whatnot. I just come across this app or website that I have up on the laptop here, and I'm going to screen record this so y'all can see this. It's called GPSnauticalcharts.com, and I will leave a link to this in the description. Sorry, I had to stop the video there. I got her going now. So now I'm screen recording this for you guys. This is a completely free site that I found. It's called, again, GPSnauticalcharts.com. I'll put a link in this in the bottom. So you're looking for a particular lake. So here we go, back out of this. There's a ton of lakes. I'm on Vilas County, just for, you know, you see there, Vilas County fishing maps. Scroll down, find the lake. So for an example, I'm going to pick Squirrel Lake. I click on it, brings me up this little map view. Now, Navionics used to offer a web-based application that was completely free, but that is no longer available. So I just found this, and this is pretty cool. As you can see, it's loading. Here's a picture of Squirrel Lake. Double click, it zooms me in. It has a zoom in and out on the left or top right here. Let's see the little hand symbol. I can scroll the lake. I don't know why it drops that little thing. It just gives you a breakdown of the depth. But so here, this is a pretty good map. I mean, for a free site, if you're just sitting at home and you're doing like I do, scouting lakes that you potentially want to fish on an upcoming trip or whatnot, this is really highly detailed. I'm not quite sure how accurate it is. once you actually fish the lakes, but it shows the boat launches and everything. So for an example, you know, we're looking at squirrel. You know, it shows all your different depths, your break lines. Obviously, with midwinter crappie, depending on the water clarity of the lake, this is why I picked this lake. I have fished this lake. It is a very clear lake, so most of the times your crappies are going to suspend out over the basin. So in this particular lake, as you can see, you know, that 30 feet, you want to start at the break lines and kind of work your way out. So this is one tool that I use. I use the Navionics app on my phone, which is super handy when you're mobile, when you're out fishing and you need to look something up real quick. You have it right there. But I mean, this, I'm completely blown away by this free site. This is so cool, this free app. And you zoom out and it's got detail to quite a few lakes surrounding the area. So if I'm just sitting there scouting, you know, my after work time, my free time, looking, trying to find a decent lake to fish, this is really cool. So this is the tool that I would use, and in conjunction with, I'm sure there are other free fishing chart maps as well, but this one is pretty good. And it looks, from what I know of this lake, it's pretty accurate. So that's really cool. I hope it is that way for other lakes. Okay, so moving along, so then another tool that I use that's actually on my phone that I'll show you here is I do use the Onyx app, Onyx Fish. It is a free site as of now. I'm going to log in here. I'm going to screen record this and put this up for you. It is compiled of depth, fish species. It has a boat launch accesses on there as well. It's a really cool tool to use. I use this in conjunction with the maps to find and scout new lakes. So here we're taking the example. It has compiled surveys on this app as well of, you know, different fish surveys over the years. So I'm going to record this and put this in the video. So here we have it's counting down. So I'm looking at squirrel. I'm looking for crappie. I click on Squirrel Lake, fish species, scroll down to crappie, click the right tab. Well, the last survey was 2014. It gives you all the survey years right on there. Really cool. And the average length was a 9-inch fish. So if you're looking for eater fish, eater size fish, those are, you know, that 9, 10-inch, 11-inch, depending. You know, personally, I would keep up to a 12-inch fish, crappie. But here it all is right here. They have all different, whatever species is in that lake will be listed here. This, keep in mind, is a survey from 2014. You know, panfish cycle. They go in cycles, so hard telling with such an old survey like that. Is it on the uptick or the decline? Hard to say. Typically, you know, with the Onyx Fish app, if you're using that, you want to look for just a couple-year-old surveys. That'll give you a good barometer of what the population is in that lake. I was just using this as an example. You know, you're looking at a 10-year-old survey. It's hard to say where that population is right now. They could be smaller than that. They could be considerably larger than that. You know, a lot of factors dictate, you know, forage that they have to eat, how much fishing pressure, predatory fish that feed on crappie, all that plays into it. But that is another tool that I use. I'll use some type of map to scout for lakes, and I use this Onyx as well. And the third tool is the DNR survey site, the actual Wisconsin DNR site. I can see if I can bring that up. But basically, you can get most of your info from these two applications. So moving along, I would generally target a lake, you know, right around that couple 100-acre and smaller in northern Wisconsin. I hopefully do some UP, Michigan videos soon, Minnesota as well. I would like to try that. I'm just kind of getting established in northern Wisconsin with having purchased a home up there. So now I'm checking and exploring more lakes. So I'm looking at, you know, a couple 100-acre lakes up there. I'll try to, I think I'm not still recording, but I can give you another breakdown of what I do. So a lake, I'll just give you a live run through of what I typically look for on these lakes. Alrighty, so I'll just give you a live rundown of what I'm looking for. So most of this info you can find, as I said, on Onyx right now. So here we are, I'm scrolling. I'm not far from Squirrel. I'm just kind of looking for a couple 100-acre lake with a deep enough basin that the fish will not be killed off by winter kill when you're targeting crappies. So scrolling along, and let's just pick Gunlock. Nice boat access there. Has a nice 24-foot hole. So early ice, it's super easy to get to from the launch. The main basin looks like 25 feet deep. I will also screen record on my app for Onyx Fish so y'all can see this. See what kind of surveys they have. So I'm clicking on Gunlock, fish species, low abundance of bluegill, crappie. The last survey was 2022. Majority of the fish are 9-inch fish. So let's say you're looking for eater-sized fish. Here's a perfect example of a lake that fits that bill. You know, 9-10-inch fish. Excuse me, got to stay hydrated. And as you can see here it is, Gunlock. You know, the bad thing about Onyx and why I use this in conjunction, I shouldn't say the bad thing, but one of the things with it is it doesn't have any mapping of this lake. Now I bring it up on this GPS nautical chart website and I can see that clearly, you know, it's plenty deep enough, 25-foot depth. Just wanted to put that in there off my Onyx app so I could show you, put these two images in there, that it is, yeah, plenty deep enough, not a very big lake. People ask in the comments, why do you target these smaller lakes? Quite simply, it's a time issue. I'm just trying to cover as much water as I can within the given time, being we do have full-time jobs, so this is primarily a weekend thing, so I want to be as efficient as I can by covering smaller bodies of water. I can usually break down, you know, in a day, 3-4 lakes easily, versus one large body of water where you're probably going to be stuck breaking that lake down. This way you get a sampling of what's out there. And a lot of these small lakes is another thing. They don't get a lot of pressure, so you may stumble upon a lake that has just a awesome fishery that hardly ever gets fished. Now, this is not to say that you can't target large bodies of water and have success. We have fished turtle flambeau before, as you can see from my Navionics app, and targeting crappies, and we've had some success. I'll put a shot in here of the wife's, you know, biggest crappie of this ice season had came on a large flowage, and 14.5-incher, huge black crappie, just a beast. Obviously we released it, but here's an example on you know, turtle flambeau. I'm going to screen record this as well. Do my little countdown here. And so, you know, here's turtle flambeau. You know, pretty easy to figure out where the crappies are. This is this, keep in mind, is a stained flowage. But for some reason on the turtle flambeau, they suspend over the basin. You'll find them on stained bodies of water a couple feet from the bottom, probably feeding on some kind of bug or something in there, but they're also suspended on this body of water. I can't really explain that, but you know, 9 times out of 10, a dirty water system, they are not going to suspend like that. But so here's your basin, one basin area on turtle flambeau. There's quite a few. Actually, I'll go over here to the other more popular one that gets fished a ton. You can see 30 feet deep, pretty large basin over here. It tops to like 40. But that's not to say, you know, that you won't find fish roaming these other areas, these flats that are like 20 feet deep. And in fact, that's where the wife caught her largest one of the year, was on one of these flats like that. You know, again, flowage, they could be anywhere. Just wanted to put that in there. If you do have the time, to don't overlook these larger flowages, because they do hold quite a lot of fish. Okay, so types of body of water when looking to target crappie through the ice. Going over clear bodies of water now, let's talk about stained bodies of water. Typical up north situations are flowages are typically stained, river systems. So when you're looking for crappie in those locations, you want to start searching, you know, 2 feet off bottom, 3 feet off bottom, no higher than that. These fish, they don't typically suspend in these bodies of water. The benefit of the stained bodies of water is you don't necessarily have to fish as deep for them, and the fish are more, I don't know if they're more aggressive, or they just seem to me, the flowages that we've targeted, they have seemed more aggressive because the water's a little dirtier. If there's minimal snow cover, the stained body of water have been better for us, just because the fish aren't as spooky. Once you get that snowpack on there, they kind of settle down on these clear lakes. But so, you know, it's just another type of lake to look for, and you can, you know, find that info on the DNR site, as I was saying, whether or not the lake is stained or not. So then moving along to, I guess, the third type of lake that I would look for, and this is like the Goldilocks of all of them. If you can find a stained body of water and these fish suspend and roam the bottom, your odds of catching fish are going to be a lot greater, because I don't know what it is. It's very hard to find a stained body of water where the crappie suspend out over the deep. But if you do happen to find one of these lakes, and we have, and my buddy Dave got his PB this year, and I'll put that picture in there, on a lake like that, those fish typically aren't as spooky, typically are aggressive, but that's not always the case. But that just seems to be, I have found a handful of lakes like this where it's a dirty water lake and the fish suspend. So with live scope or any type of forward facing sonar, when they're suspended, they're very easy to find. You can cover a lot of water easily this way. You can also do this the old school way, with just gridding it out, just drilling a bunch of holes and checking the holes with your Vexlar. That works too. That's how I did it for years before forward facing sonar came along. But you know, that's kind of like the Goldilocks, I want to say, of the lakes, of the crappie lakes, is one where it's a dirty lake and the fish suspend. Because if they suspend in the dirty lake, they'll also be on the bottom. And that's not the case in these clear lakes. If it's a clear lake, those fish are suspended. the fish on the bottom are going to be gills and perch. It's 100, like 9 times out of 10, I want to say, from what I found over the years. So just wanted to put that in there on that third type. Whoever you are out there in TV land, if you find a lake where those fish suspend and it is a dirty body of water, do not, mom is the word, do not be telling your buddies, because you found something that is pretty special, and there's probably going to be some good fish in there too as well. If you guys have any kind of questions, please feel free, drop a comment. I will respond as best as I can. If I miss anything in this video, just feel free, put a comment in there. Hey, what about this or this? And I will respond to it, and I'll try to incorporate it into future videos. I think that's about it. I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to in this video. Keep it down, keep your lakes down to like that couple 100 acres. It'll really help, targeting these fish, breaking down water quickly. You can, get on some little hidden gems that, people typically don't fish this time of year or anytime during the ice season. I've just had a really awesome time this winter, breaking down new bodies of water, exploring. It's just part of the grind, as they say. I really enjoy getting out there and doing the homework, and then being rewarded by finding some really nice fish, or places that some places you just didn't expect that turned out to be really good. So as always, I appreciate all your comments, likes. Please subscribe, support the channel. I'll try to do some more in-depth stuff here, breaking down what I look for, walleye fishing, perch fishing, whatnot. Whatever you guys want to see, just comment below. And as always, stay tuned for the next one.
1990, Sharp Rock jumps upon the scene with a lean and a pocket full of green. The green doesn't symbolize I made it on the top, but RoboCop last year was a shock.